Hey guys, welcome back. In this session, we will learn about conditional statements. So the agenda is we'll see first what are the conditional statements and then we will look into different conditional statements available within VBA. So what are conditional statements? Generally, the program execution is linear. By that, what I mean is first code in the line 1 is executed, then line 2, then line 3 and sequentially it goes on. Conditional statements let you run the certain section of the code only if the condition is true or only if your certain criteria meets. So for example, if the code execution is going on, we'll have a condition. And if that condition is true, we will execute a separate section of the code. And if the condition is false, we will execute the separate section of the code. For an example, if you're trying to find even and odd numbers, we'll have a condition which says if number mod 2 is equals to 0. Mod 2 means remainder of the number if it is divided by 2, if it is 0, which means it's an even number. So if the condition is if number mod 2 is equals to 0 and the number is 5, so it will have a remainder of 1. So which means the number mod 2 is equals to 0 will evaluate into false and it will say is odd number. And if the number is something even and the condition becomes true, it will say is even number. So that's how the conditional statements work. They evaluate the condition and depending on what the result of the condition is, it executes the particular section of the code. Let's look into different conditional statements available. First one is if then else. The syntax for if then else is something like this. You say if condition is true, then execute the code, else execute this code. For an example, if you say if number mod 2 is equals to 0, then print is even number or else print is odd number. Second conditional statement available is this select case. Select case is also something similar to what if condition does, whereas select can also allow you different parameters. For an example, in if we can only have a conditional which returns true or false. In select case, you can also have an expression. You can say something like your number plus 5 and you can check in case if your number plus 5 is equals to 7, then do something. If your number plus 5 is equals to 8, then do something. So basically, instead of having a condition, you can also have an expression and a value. So when that expression is evaluated and the certain value is achieved, we can execute our code on that value as well. Let's jump into a demo and see how it works. In your Excel, go to Developer tab, View Code. Let's create a subroutine. Let's create a variable. I want to read the value from the Excel cell. So what I'll do is I'll say value is equals to so now I have the value of cell 1 comma 1 in my variable called value. I'll use a conditional statement saying if value mod 2 is equals to 0, then it's an even number, right? Let's print it into a next cell. Worksheets sheet 2 dot cells 1 comma 2 dot value is equals to number is even, else I'll say number is odd. To end a conditional statement which starts with if, you have to say in if. Now if you go back to your Excel and say a number like 2, let's see what the code does. Sorry, I made a typo, it should be sheet 1. Let's run the code now. Now you see it says number is even. If you change it to 3 and run the code again, it says number is odd. So whatever is the value present there, and After evaluating the condition using that value, the program is identifying whether the number is even or the number is odd. We can rewrite the same thing using a select case as well. Let's see how. Let's write select case. You can say value mod 2 is equals to 0. Now you can write case true. So we'll say number is even. The other case can be false. Since we are writing a condition, we have only two cases, true or false. If we write an expression, we can have multiple cases as well. I'll say number is odd. To end the conditional statement of select, we have to write end select. Let's remove this part. This code will work similar to what was working with if conditions. Let's change the numbers here. Let's make it 4. If I run this code now, again a typo. I should make it sheet 1. If I run this code now, it says number is even. If I change it again, it says number is odd. So both the codes are working as expected. So conditional statements work only for a particular section of the code once the condition is true.